First off, Coach Smith, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Ryan. Great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So 51-10 over Redlands on the road. At what point during the game did you feel like you guys were in control?
That's a good question. I think we got up by, really when we got up probably 3 scores and watched what our defense was doing, I figured I knew what was going to happen. But the game really turned when the last we had 2 drives right before half, and I thought we were going to work on our 2-minute offense and get one more score in and really put them in a bad position. And shoot, we not only scored that one, we got the ball back and scored again, and really scored twice in the last 2 minutes. And that really was a dagger to any team and really put the game out of hand. And then we came out in the third quarter and scored on our first possession, and you know, it was a good day for us.
I would say that. And for me, in rewatching the game on Huddle, because I couldn't watch the first half because their stream was so poor, what stood out to me was on both sides of the ball was the play in the trenches by Linfield. You guys, they just decimated the Redlands up front. So far, assess your line play, and how do you think these two groups, our defensive and offensive line, will grow during the year?
Well, first of all, I apologize for the stream. I mean, I've heard nothing but complaints from literally seemingly hundreds of people, it seems like, about the stream. Our own guys couldn't watch the stream.
Yep.
Our own players are listening to the radio, so that's disappointing. But what wasn't disappointing was how our line played, as you said, and our offensive line, man, they kept Wyatt upright. We had the running game going, we had the passing game going, really because of what they were doing up front. And our defensive line, at one point we had 7 straight 3-and-outs, and that really was happening up front. So I'm just really impressed with how they're playing. And yet the room for improvement is still there. I mean, that's something we're really trying to focus on is how much better we can get, because we know what's waiting for us out there if we can keep improving and earn the right to someday look at going into the playoffs. That there's great teams out there, so we have to get better and better each week, and that's our focus.
That's a very, very astute assessment, Coach. I would say that for me, you guys came out and were very prepared to play, and to me that comes down to coaching and what the job your staff is doing in terms of getting your players prepared, not only last year, but this year. Can you tell me a little bit about how you feel about this staff that you currently have and the type of work that they're doing?
Well, that's, again, a very astute point on your part. I think our staff is exceptional. And, every one of my full-time guys is truly an expert at what they're doing. And, there's no secret to our line play. Why it's so good is they're being coached by 2, I think, extremely talented, experienced, master line coaches, and our game plans are solid, the technique's solid, and the staff prepares our guys really well. So I think we probably had the best preseason we've had in 2 decades in terms of the amount of preparation that we put into it, and the resources that we spent in some ways to go get our guys game ready. And it was evident that we were much more game ready this year, game 1, game 2, than we have been in the past.
I would agree with that too. So currently the Cats are on the bye week. Is this a back to basics week for the program, or is this more of a game prep week where you're preparing for the next opponent?
I think it's a back to basics week. Last year we had a whole year of back to basics, a whole year of technique focus, and so that's what we're trying to do right now is get some guys healthy. We still have there's still a couple kids that we're really counting on to be contributors in our offense and defense, and we got to get them healthy. And I think as they merge into what we're doing, we're going to be even better. So yes, getting healthy and working on our fundamentals.
Absolutely. So next game is the start of conference play, and it's also another road game, which is a challenge in itself. What's your message to the team right now after starting the season so strong? Hey, a lot of people saying a lot of good things about Linfield, top 10 rankings, guys getting recognition, et cetera, et cetera. What's the message to your guys right now?
Well, I think, we try not to pay much attention to that. I mean, in my opinion, the rankings and all of that is I don't think is very accurate anyways, to be honest. I think there's a massive Midwest and East Coast bias, but so that doesn't really matter to us. But I think our guys are very focused on accomplishing something special this year, and we can't waste a single practice, can't waste a single day. So that's the focus, that's the message.
All right. I agree. I think that I'm excited. I think all Linfield fans, there's been a lot of buzz from the general fans after a year and a half, 2 years. I don't know how long. It's been forever to see these first two games.
651 days.
Wow. Okay. There you go. I'll take your word for it. But to try to change it to more of a lighter subject, I did ask on my Twitter feed today, I'm interviewing you tonight. Let me know if there's a couple of questions. I do have a couple of questions if you're game for that.
Sure.
So Jacob Hankey,
right.
Oh yeah, big smile on your face. Right. Former starting offensive tackle is, if you can recall, what is the worst question you have ever been asked pre or post game? Is there one that stands out in your mind, like, I can't believe that someone just asked me this question?
Absolutely. We were playing St. Thomas, and we lost in an overtime game over there, and one of the reporters asks Eric Hadeen, what happened to you? How come you didn't make a sack? Basically, were you even out there? And that guy had such a great year and was such a dominant player.
Absolutely.
And they must have sent 3 or 4 guys on him every dang play. And I took it out on the reporter that day. So that one, I can remember that. And if we could have walked off the stage, I would have, but I remember that one, yes.
Yeah, Hadeen is an all-time great. That is undisputed. I loved watching Eric play. 22 sacks that season, I remember clearly. Okay, I'll only torture you a couple more times here. All right, so the actual official Linfield University account has a question for you, Coach. Do you have a favorite team to play on the road? Is there a particular, it doesn't have to be in conference, like in your time coaching at Linfield, is there a place that you relish going to and competing? I don't really like anybody. So, it's not like I like to go play anyone. So the trips north I like because we eat at Country Cousins. So, those are always sort of fun, going up to the Tacoma, I guess. At least PLU has a locker room you can dress in, right? So absolutely.
I hate playing at Fox and Lewis and Clark and Pacific because we can't even dress. So
PLU does have the best locker room in the conference, the location and the size of it, hands down.
Yeah, so that would be it. And I know that's a silly reason why, but I like when our guys can sit down and dress for a game. We're not asking for much.
No, I agree. That's fair. So just overall, like all the time for me being with Linfield, that Widener trip stands out to me for so many different reasons. That in that playoff run in 14, the way that you were able to get the guys to go down into downtown Philadelphia was just a special time, being able to practice at the Eagles facility, a cameo by Coach Kelly at the time. That was,
absolutely.
For me, that's
I'd
high
agree.
up there.
As far as favorite trips, that one and the Rowan where we got to go to Manhattan and take our guys to Ground Zero, those were extra special for certain.
Yeah, I do love it how you always try to do something a little extra for the guys on the road trip. I think that's another special component of being a part of this program. Coach, that's it. I know you got stuff to do, so I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
I could do this to you all day long, and I'm torturing you, I can tell. But,
all right.
Hey, thanks for your time, Coach, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.